Yeah, I will. I'll introduce you.
Okay, cool. I'll just put my phone on mute until time.
Okay.
Time being.
And Mr. Harvey Perry Sr. just left the center, so we are in contact.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he reached out to me. I said, you know what? Yeah. Listen. Yeah, I said, yeah, you know what? Go see Mr. Goins. He can help you with all that.
Yeah, this is perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Harvey's a good guy.
Yep, we will use him. That's a great bingo prize. Get your house clean. I know they will tune in for this.
I'm tuning in too. I'm playing that day.
You got Lillian's attention.
Yeah, he can come through my garage for me, boy. I might be on the next episode of Hoarders.
Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
I'm waiting on Mr. Beasley to reply, and then we can get going.
You waiting for him to reply so that we can start the program?
Yeah. Well, what we can do is go ahead and get started.
Nope, I'm getting ready to start. I'm going to start on time.
Yeah. You told the people 10 o'clock. He should be on time.
Right.
Yep, I am on time and ready to go.
The producer.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be late. I'm on time. Bam.
Yes, you are. The producer said it's time. Go for
it.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Martin Luther King Jr. Senior Center Black History Month event. This is a virtual forum entitled How EOB Benefits Our Community. I am Byron Goins, director at the Martin Luther King Jr. Senior Center, where every day it's a great day at MLK. We're going to kick things off for Black History Month, just like we do every day at MLK. We want to introduce a guest speaker this morning, Lawrence Weekly. Without any introduction, we know he is a former Clark County Commissioner and will always be known dear to our heart as Commissioner Weekly. But we do want to let you know in his new role, he is the Chief of Staff, Chief Diversity Officer for College of Southern Nevada. And we'd like to congratulate him on his next endeavor in life. Doesn't mean he is leaving the community. It just means he's more engaged in the community. So he won't be at the county commission meetings, but a great thing is he will be in the classrooms, not at the college level, but also at the local level with the schools. So we're so glad that the commissioner is entrenched in the education of the community. And without any further ado, I'd like to turn it over to former Clark County Commissioner, Chief of Staff, Chief Diversity Officer at College of Southern Nevada, Mr. Weekly.
Call me the chief, baby. Call me the chief. Hey, everybody. Hey, listen, you guys, I am in transit right now. And so, I still wanted to make sure that I had an opportunity to stop by and just say hello to everybody. You guys would be so proud of me. Well, some of you. Guess where I'm on my way? I am going to get my second dose of vaccine. That's right. This is my second shot, Byron. So,
wow.
So this evening I'll probably need some ice packs or something because, last time I took it, my arm was sore for about a day. So I'm going to get the second dose. People are saying, well, Weekly, I'm not really sure about that vaccine. Yeah, I'm not sure with life without it. I don't know. So we don't know what's out there. But what I do know is prayer truly changes things. Am I right about that?
You're absolutely right about that.
I've just put my trust in God, and I just said, Lord, if it be your will, I ask for your blessings on this day, and I'm just going to go in there. I'm walking in there in faith, and we just going to come out, and we're going to walk out of there in faith. How about that?
That is great.
Everybody was saying, it is. I agree with Byron Goins. He spoke about my new career that have started at College of Southern Nevada. And I can tell you that, I'm really blessed, and I feel so grateful to God that I didn't leave public office with my own business. I wish I had. I wish I had my own business, right? But I transitioned out of public office to go into a career in education. I had already been teaching at UNLV, but to now be hired as the Chief Diversity Officer and the Chief of Staff for the President of CSN. What a blessing. What all that means, everybody, is that I get a real paycheck. Yes, amen, somebody. Hallelujah. Make me get out the car and start shouting right now. I get a real paycheck, so I'm really excited. I'm really excited about that. But I can't thank you all enough. MLK seniors, you all are the best. You all have shown me so much love. You all have prayed for me. You all have prayed with me. You all have supported me. I've called you all out to come to events. Even when you didn't feel well, you got up and you came anyway. MLK is a family. We have been a family and we will always be a family. I know you all have a new commissioner now, and I ask that you all embrace him like you did me. You all gave me a chance, and I thank you so very much. Why is EOB so important, and why this family environment is so important? Y'all, if we don't look out for each other, who's going to do it for us, right? Who's going to do it for us? And so this amazing staff that's over at the MLK Senior Center, I'm grateful to God for them. And it's my hope and my prayer that they're doing everything they can to make sure that whatever resources we have, they're readily available for me. That's important to me. It will always be important to me. I know some will say, well, Weekly, you know, the center is the counties. It's under Commissioner William McCurdy's authority. Well, all that's fine and dandy. But now I'm a taxpayer and I really have a voice. Right? That's right.
Say my name.
We're going to be on Byron Goins' head like white on rice. So we're going to make sure that they continue to take care of you all. We're going to continue to make sure that whatever EOB can do to make sure that our center is intact, that you all have everything you need, that's our goal. All right. Am I experiencing some technical difficulties, Byron? I'm still good. We roll.
Nope, you're still good, loud and clear.
Okay.
And looking good.
I want to say in closing, because they told me I only had a couple minutes to talk to you guys. I just want to say, as we get through this pandemic, I'm praying that you all please stay safe. Please stay safe. I know we want to get back in the center. I can't wait until you all get back into the center, because I know Mr. Goins and the team over there, Team MLK, is going to have some of the best festivities. I'm eligible. I'm eligible. I'm getting ready to enroll in the MLK Senior Center. So y'all look out for me. I'm coming to all the parties and all the. That's right. I'll be right up in the house. But I just want to say on this, as we celebrate Black History Month, I'm not big on celebrating Black History Month. I'm so grateful for Carter G. Woodson. I'm so grateful for all the men and women. Look at the beautiful people that are behind on this pictorial that's behind Mr. Goins right now in this backdrop. Rosa Parks, our beloved Rosa Parks, our amazing Hank Aaron. Who did I see? Madam C.J. Walker in the background. You know, all of these men and women are so historical and paved the way for so many of us. But you all are the people that I know. See, I didn't know a lot of those folks in history. I read about them and I see them in books and magazines, but I know you all. And you all have allowed people like me to stand on your shoulders. You hear me? You all have allowed me to stand on your shoulders. You all made it possible that I could go to school and get an education. You know, I went to Grambling State University, a historical Black university. I'm so grateful for that. But I tell you all, people say, well, Weekly, why don't you celebrate Black History Month? Because every day we wake up, we celebrate who we are. We're not going to be relegated to the shortest month of the year. That's not what we're going to do, everybody. We're going to celebrate who we are. We thank Carter G. Woodson for Black History Month. We thank all of those who have come before us. And we're grateful. And so I just want to say to you all, thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy Black History Month to you all. You all stay safe. Love you all, and we'll be in touch. All right?
All right.
There it is.
Thank you very much, Chief, and make sure you go get that second shot. You will live a long and prosperous life.
That's
there you
right.
go.
All right.
Yes, we just hosted shots at the center last week, and we just got the numbers in today. We had 64 of the MLK Senior Center members come through to get their COVID shots. They'll be through March 11th and March the 12th for their second shots. And so we're going to be a center in this community so folks can come down and get the shot.
Yeah. Well,
Definitely.
everybody, please spread the word. Spread word to take advantage of it. Call Mr. Goins and call the staff up at the MLK Senior Center. Call EOB if you have any questions. If you need with the vaccination, if you have concerns about it, we can get you on the phone with the health district. We can get you on the phone with medical professionals to make sure all your questions are answered. And so, no need to fear. You do what's in the best interest of you and your health. And so, we thank you all, Mr. Goins. I can't thank you enough for your leadership. I appreciate you. I appreciate your staff. And God bless you all. And guess what? I'm going to get a shot. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right. Thank you, Chief.
All right.
All right. Round of applause for former Commissioner Lawrence Weekly and Chief of Staff, Chief Diversity Officer at College of Southern Nevada. We're going to segue now to another leader of EOB that everybody's familiar with, and that is our interim ED, Mr. Lawrence Beasley. Mr. Beasley will be here to speak to you about what EOB means to the community and talk about some of our current goals that we have outlined. Mr. Beasley, take it away.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Glad everybody could be here. Good to see all these happy, smiling faces this morning. We don't have any snow, unlike Texas, so it's a good day today. Glad to be here and able to talk to you a little bit about what EOB does, how we're impacting the community, give you some ideas about the kinds of programming that we're looking to implement over the next year or so, and then maybe solicit some feedback on how we can respond better to your needs. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear and looking good.
All right. So let me give you a little bit of an overview of what we've been doing, and then a kind of 10,000 foot view of the programming that we provide. So in general, EOB operates in 4 or 5 distinct areas. One is our Family Supportive Services group. They provide family assistance, support services, case management, and some of that direct assistance that you're all familiar with. So when you hear about EOB and you hear about, oh, well, you can go over there and get some rent assistance, get some utility assistance, if you need a bus pass to get to work, if you need some help trying to get some assistance in finding work, that's kind of around what Family Supportive Services does. The work piece is Workforce Supportive Services kind of picks up on. So they do a lot of the job training, helping people get ready to go to work, providing the services and support that individuals may need when they are requesting some help getting to a new job, transportation, all of those kinds of things are our Workforce Supportive Services group. Those two groups are headed up by Ms. Tamara Collins. She's on the call today. And if you ever need any help in those areas, and I'm going to be saying this quite a bit, make sure you give us a call at 702-445-7105. Our third group is Project Listos, and that's headed up by Miss Hilda Lisa Sampson. She's also on the call today. Hi, Hilda Lisa, I see you. And they provide English language learning services for parents of students who are in school. So they really help parents understand the English language better so that they can be more supportive at home for their students who are in school. They also have some other peripheral support services for those families. If you're interested in any of that, again, call us at our main line, 702-445-7105. Our other program, which Byron beams about, is Martin Luther King Jr. Senior Center. We just got our new, what was it, 8,600 square foot extension,
Yes, about 7,500.
7,500 square foot extension to the original building. For those of you who haven't had a chance to see it yet, it's a marvelous piece of work. We have a large multi-purpose room, which can be sectioned off into 3 different areas. We have a new dance room, expanded kitchen, and we're also providing some additional services in the old building with a new conference room and a larger-than-life TV room, which I'm sure is going to get a whole lot of service and requests and use once we're able to open the center back up. Did I miss anything there, Byron?
Nope, you got everything.
All right. And then one of the other sets of programming that we provide, not just directly through our state funding sources, we do a lot of supportive services through external grants that we may receive. So in the past, we've received the Coronavirus Housing Assistance Program grant that allowed us to provide additional rental assistance resources, rental and utility primarily, to the general public. And essentially what that allowed us to do is, traditionally we were able to pay, at 1 month of rent through our community services block grant or CSBG block grant. And that's generally for the current month. But with the Coronavirus Housing Assistance Program, we were able to help those families who needed multiple months worth of assistance. We had the ability to expend about $2 million in rental assistance over the last quarter to help those families in need. And Tamara, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we did about 1,200 families or so.
Just a little bit under that, but we were able to help numerous families multiple times. So we'll give a complete count on all the families we helped and the number of times that we were able to assist families over the period of 9 months. So if you're counting unduplicated, it's just under 1,000 families, but duplicated, it's almost 3,000 in terms of, or excuse me, it's almost, I believe it was like 1,400 in terms of how many times we touched a family and helped them with rental assistance for the multiple months.
All right. So that was a pretty big push for us over the last quarter or so. In addition to that, we've also been able to provide assistance to seniors and disabled through the food and nutrition program for the basic needs assistance program, and also provide some child care assistance through that same funding mechanism. I think we're currently providing upwards of 500 families with food and nutrition service. Is that correct, Byron?
That is correct.
All right. We're doing what, about 1,200 meals a week?
Right now, through our BNA program, we're at about 2,100.
2,100. All right.
Yes.
Even more and even better, right? So, and those are probably the 2 biggest programs on our plate. We also have some funding from the city of Las Vegas to be able to provide some housing assistance to individuals who have AIDS and are assisting them with finding housing and making sure that they're able to maintain a healthy living standard. We have also entered into a partnership with the Resilience Project, and what they're doing is helping individuals who are facing difficult times as a result of the pandemic. So we hear a lot about the impact that the virus is having in terms of its health conditions and people getting sick and trying to go through recovery. But a lot of what isn't talked about readily is the impact that that has on a person's well-being and mental state. So the Resilience Project really helps individuals who are facing difficulties around being able to cope with the pandemic and the resulting impacts of that. One of the other things that EOB participates in, the two big ones actually, is the Homeless Alliance Coalition. We provide input and gather a lot of feedback around different programs that are happening in and around the community around the homeless initiatives. Those meetings happen every other Thursday, where we get together with a group of all of those nonprofits that are working on the homeless condition, talk about what new and upcoming programming is available, and how can we better assist individuals who are facing homelessness. One of the second large program that we participate in, which is really a conference of nonprofits, is United Way's nonprofit organizing work group. And what that is a group of about 75 nonprofit leaders that come together and talk about what kinds of things are going on in the community, what's currently impacting nonprofits in a positive or negative way. We talk about focusing our efforts in different areas as the need arises, and also just bounce ideas off one another to get an idea of how people are tackling different problems within the community. So it's a really good sounding board to keep all the nonprofits informed about what's happening in and around their different areas. We're also focused on our missions that sometimes we lose sight of what's happening in and around Clark County and even in the larger state scope. So this is a good way for us to keep in touch with one another, make sure we're putting resources in the appropriate areas, and then getting good feedback around how to tackle different problems. Other than that, I don't know if I've missed anything. Tamara, Byron, Hilda, Lisa, did I miss anything there that EOB is working on?
No, you covered it. You covered it pretty thorough. Just like everybody to know, that was kind of, as Mr. Beasley said, a look from the top looking down. As you know, we are a community action agency, and as you can see by what is outlined, we are truly engulfed in the community, basically entrenched in this community as we've been over 30 plus years now with this organization. So with that, we're going to kind of using Mr. Beasley's analogy from a high view, we're going to kind of swoop down to a local level and talk to Ms. Tamara Collins about some of the programs that EOB has to offer. Tamara is our Director of Programs. And as Commissioner Weekly would say, and just like me, I am Black, so I celebrate Black History Month or Black History Day every day of my life. He mentioned being a graduate of a HBCU. I am as well. Former Commissioner Weekly went to Grambling. Myself, I went to Prairie View A&M University. And our next guest, Ms. Tamara Collins, is a proud Bison and a graduate of Howard University, where my niece is. Now, Mr. Beasley, we haven't forgot about you too, because you know we are everywhere in the education system. And Mr. Beasley is a proud Michigan man, alumni of Michigan. So we just wanted to put the credentials out there to let you know that EOB's stretches across the plethora of educational and higher institutions of learning. Ms. Tamara Collins, take it away and tell us what's happening at EOB on the program level.
Well, I was selected to speak a little bit about what we do with workforce. And I want to say also to the earlier speakers, Lawrence Beasley and Commissioner Weekly, You guys did an excellent job in terms of, just recognizing the Martin Luther King Senior Center and its members. And Lawrence, you pretty much covered all of the programs. I want to kind of give the users a little bit more in-depth understanding as to how we are here to help them in terms of our workforce initiatives. I think one of the first things I want our constituents to understand is that EOB is a respectful agency. We're respectful and we're understanding. And when you come to EOB, simply put, it's just one thing we're trying to get across. We're not here to judge anyone. We really are here to offer you a helping hand. And that is seen throughout all of the levels of the agency's programs. We're here to offer a helping hand. We're not here to judge. We're not here to question about, why you got into a certain situation. But we are here to make certain that we place no judgments, but we are here to offer assistance. I think one of the things that I want our community members to know is that EOB is highly accessible. We'll continue to offer our services, workforce-related services, via online methodologies. We also offer housing and utility assistance through other programs, as Mr. Beasley mentioned a few minutes ago. But for the majority of our inquiries, we want everyone to try to come to us through at least delivering your needs through an online survey. For the majority of these inquiries, that's how we begin our service delivery to determine what your needs are. EOB accepts application submittals via online, faxed application submittals, and for those who have limited access to technologies, EOB will also accept applications, whether it be for workforce, for housing, or for utility needs. We can accept those applications through our drop box located at the Martin Luther King Senior Center. As far as being a collaborative works partner, we are daily looking to expand our outreach to employers here in Clark County. We have a list of about 20 employers that we have kept communications through the pandemic. A lot of folks have been laid off from work, and EOB is, like many other entities in this valley, we're focused on what is it going to take us to, what do we have to do as an employment partner to help people be ready for recovery. Recovery is the next phase of this pandemic. We have to prepare ourselves to get back into work life. And it may not be, for a lot of our constituents, it may not be the type of work life that we have been accustomed to. Going in, punching a clock every day, working across the counter from someone. So we are really working to try to begin to develop webinars or training initiatives to help people understand that their work may have to take place from a home-based setting. And what does it take to be able to work in a home-based setting? What type of equipment you might need in a home-based setting. I was working with our marketing coordinator yesterday, and we're going to try to launch some initiatives with the local area chambers of commerce to try to see how can we potentially maybe offer some on-the-job training initiatives to new workforce deployments. People who are not in the office every day, people who may have to have equipment share or purchase, so that those folks are able to be part of the workforce as well. EOB is a mandatory partner with the Workforce Connections or the Southern Nevada Workforce Board, so we are seated at the workforce offices twice weekly. So if you have a need to have access to workforce-related vouchers, barrier removals such as assistance with purchasing background checks, or helping you with uniforms, or any type of other equipment that you may need to go back to work, we're on site at that facility twice a week. We also have funding for workforce retraining. And some industries may not come back to full status, and that means that you may not be able to work in your past industry for a number of years. So EOB is committed to looking at on-demand career opportunities that will be able to sustain through the aftermath of the pandemic. So we need to find work initiatives for individuals, such as stay-at-home or medical billing and coding. An industry which at one point was, somewhat of an oddity, but now, because of the social distancing parameters that are, placed upon so many different medical establishments, this is a highly sought out after, industry. Most of the call centers, they're going to be converting over to home-based call centers. Can you do call center work? There are definitely, some training that EOB can help with, helping an individual be prepared for that type of work. So there are a number of newly, developed methodologies for people to begin to have access to work.
Emery, you hit mute.
Take the approach to finding jobs or to working. You have to look at this in a different perspective, as the whole world has changed, and EOB wants to be part of that change. And I will close with just basically saying we are here to help. Our accessibility also includes the fact that we're here every day. Throughout the pandemic, we've been here every day, whether good or bad, answering phones. It wasn't always.
I think you hit. There we go.
Without losing the connection to our client base. So we have to be, that is our mainstay. EOB wants to always be available to people who are looking out for that type of assistance. So I will close with that. Please give us a call if you have any employment related needs. It can include a number of items that can improve your abilities to be at work. If you have to drive to work, we can offer some assistance with gas cards, being, that is your only means of access to that employer. Of course, bus passes. We have a number of other resources that you may need to be able to afford you to be able to maintain the employment. We are just simply here to offer that helping hand that so many constituents here in this valley, they have to stand upon it. So we want to be here to help. And if there's anything else you may need or want to ask about, please feel free to call us at area code 702-445-7105. And I'm going to turn the baton back over to you, Byron.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Great job. We did have a question in the chat while you were speaking.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Good. We did have a question in the chat while you were speaking, and the question was, what is the best way to find out what types of jobs have openings?
Well, of course, we always aim at, what we can find on Indeed, and we also look at the Nevada in-demand jobs. Well, what are demand sectors? What does that mean? When we say we want to look at types of jobs for openings, there always are going to be openings for, I would say, ready employment. Those may be jobs that could offer you basic employment such as your, your retail, your restaurants, or such as McDonald's or drive-throughs, but is that really sustainable employment? So our concentration is really on in-demand career sectors, and those sectors of work that we're looking at right now involve some retraining in a lot of instances. We're looking at information technology. Those are jobs that can be done from your home. So if you become an IT technician, or if you want to work a help desk, you have to have the skills and training, which EOB can help you get there. But those are training initiatives that will allow you to move into that sector of the workforce. Those jobs are in high demand. How do you get customer tech support? You have to have a background in training. We are offering assistance with, if you want to go directly to a construction industry, those industries are still in high demand. They're outside industries. Most of them may require flagger training. We can help you get those types of trainings under your belt so that you would be prepared to be able to go into that workforce. Another in-demand career would be, of course, logistics. So anything in the trucking industry or moving product. If you ask for an in-demand career opportunity and you had maybe not a lot of experience, there are some logistical trainings that we can provide you with in terms of just some basic training if you don't have that in your background. But just take a look at what we look like as a country. Amazon, your FedEx, your UPS, all these are logistical trades companies that require right now in-demand work. The work is there. We just have to prepare ourselves for being able to enter into those work interests without, having the training. You may not be able to get through the door. So we're trying to get people to focus on in demand. Those are careers that are needed right now that have an ability to carry you through maintaining a livable wage. And hopefully the state defines these careers as careers that will not fluctuate, whether we're in the middle of a pandemic or we're out of a pandemic. So we want to find career interests for individuals that will have a lasting, ability to hold you and your family stable through whatever comes, because those are demand careers that will not go away. So there's about 10 or 12 that we are, advertising, or our workforce specialist is helping people to try to target in terms of career interests. But that's what we start with. We try to look at what's in demand and what's now.
Excellent, and thank you. And I think it's always important to know, having a little background in workforce, as Ms. Tamara explained, it looks like the path to employment is to secure a career and not just a job, so that you don't continue coming back through this cycle again. So while it may seem tedious up front, taking those necessary steps, the end result is a career and not a job, and something long lasting. I also see somebody just joined us, Ms. Doreen Guerrera from the Southern Nevada Regional Housing Authority. She had a question regarding our rental process. I'm going to turn this back over to the team. Ms. Tamara, this one may be for you. I'll let Ms. Doreen explain it, and we will tell you the ins and outs of the rental process and why sometimes it may take a while for us to get back to you. Ms. Doreen?
Hi, everybody. So I actually worked with Byron and Tamara before at the One Stop. So I'm no longer working with the families. I'm working now with the seniors that live in our developments. And I do have one senior that was affected by COVID-19. She lost her employment. I actually have a few of them, but this one particular one has exhausted her unemployment benefits. And now that the moratorium is lifted, we're going to be seeing some evictions coming to some of our seniors that were affected because of employment. They're having a hard time finding employment at their ages, and we've gone through these processes of applying for the funding through the CARES Act for rental assistance, but we haven't heard anything. And I mean, with March literally right around the corner, it's going to start happening. And I'm lucky enough to have property managers that really care, and they're calling me and letting me know. So what's the process? What can we do?
Well, thank you so much, and it's good to see you, Doreen. We have been in this battle to try to help people for so many years,
Yes.
and our commitment is there.
Right.
As far as if you heard earlier in our conversation, initially, EOB committed to spending or working with the county to spend upwards to $1 million in funds. I'm trying to get to the gravity of how big this problem is. We initially started with $1 million to try to spend down from Clark County, but our need was so great, we absolutely practically doubled that amount, and it would not have stopped. So first things first, Doreen, we're advising all of our clients to understand their legal liabilities. Number one, we've been sending our clients out just some very informational items as to what they should do to protect themselves legally in terms of eviction proceedings and what to expect during those proceedings. The Clark County portal is still open. However, there is a great delay because Clark County has received these stimulus funds, and they are developing the programmatic criteria that will go with those funds. So they don't have the same type of guidance that we had with CARES. CARES was a little bit different, and it allowed us to do things a little bit more spontaneous. We had to meet certain requirements. So I'm saying to you that the gravity of this problem is so large across Clark County, and you have seniors who may even have some subsidized housing support. We are talking largely to clients across the community who have no housing support, and they're dealing directly with market rate rent.
Yeah.
So we want people to understand, first, they must know their rights. There are some informational packets that I could send to you that you can share with your residents. If they haven't already filed for, protection under the extension of the CDC guidance, they should do that first. They should also make certain that they're keeping their property management aware of what's happening. So it's not going to do anybody any good for me to avoid notices, avoid what's happening. A lot of entities right now are entering into mitigation practices through the Clark County court systems. So there are mitigation initiatives that are underway that will help individuals with making, maybe say, for instance, some repayment arrangements. But anything that can be done, the county is trying to establish ways so that people don't fall into evictions. What EOB has right now, as we are also awaiting a stimulus distribution from the feds to the state, to eventually it will get to EOB. But there is a lot of money that is coming from the federal government that will allow us to be able to extend those dollars to the communities at large. But what we have right now is an ability to provide that emergency relief. Unfortunately, it is only for 1 month, and it does have some caveats to it. Preferably our CARES funds. Of course, it is responsive to those folks who lost their income or have a direct effect from COVID-19, but we have a general fund that will allow us to help individuals. Say, for instance, sometimes their rent situation or scenario may not be suitable, and they may need to have a first month's rent someplace else. So we were able to do those types of rent reliefs, pay for rent for someone who had an emergency where they had to take off work because let's just say, for instance, their hours got reduced for some reason, but most of it is still the after effects of COVID-19. If your families on your properties still could benefit from any of the 2 relief packets that we have, by all means, have them call us directly at the front line, and we will direct them on as to how they should begin to apply for our benefits. We do share it. Thank you.
Okay.
And depending on what she asks for, does she apply for multiple months rent or just for basic rent?
Her rent, it's very low. She doesn't live in public housing. She lives in affordable. So it's still going to, even though she may have lost her income or it went down, her rent stays the same. Now, if it was public housing and she lost all her income, then of course her rent would be adjusted. But when they're in affordable, it's a whole different program. Now, she's got a few months of rent.
Yep.
But it's not a very high amount of rent. I think it's under $2,000.
So
it's not about the amount. I'll tell you another thing, Doreen. The gravity and the how many people came to us.
Yeah.
We literally stopped taking applications in October. So you're telling me about somebody in December, and what we did for all the applicants who came after October 5th, they were referred to the Clark County larger system. So a lot of times people may have felt discouraged. We offered assistance. We offered help to help them get their documents digitized and sent over to Clark County. We had a full team of folks here on staff through the 31st of December, through the 30th of December, I'm sorry, to help with that transition. There was absolutely, we could not have absorbed another client. So October 5th is when we actually cut off our applications.
Wow.
December
Excellent.
5th, or December at sometimes, that's almost 2 months later. Just imagine the amount of people in between that were still trying to send applications.
So Ms. Tamara and Ms. Doreen,
Mhm.
I'm going to interject here because I think what will happen is I think, Doreen, you should have confidence that this senior will be in their home and are not going to be displaced. We're going to move on with the show, and what I'll do is off air, I will contact you and get that person's name, and we'll find out where they are in the system for you. But I think you can confidently go back to your senior and assure them that it is a long process, but because she got a notice, I don't believe there's going to be an eviction that's going to happen right away.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I will definitely follow up after this show, Doreen, with that inquiry as well. But I want to just kind of play it out. And I know there are people who may be listening who may have had similar
experiences. Yep.
I just want people to understand the gravity, that this is a very, very large problem for Clark County wide. And every constituent who falls into the need for these services, they have to be informed, educated, and they have to understand that they have to take an action.
Yep.
And so that's generally my point that I'd like to make. So it's great seeing you again, Doreen, and I look forward to trying to help your client as best as we can.
Okay, yeah,
Yep.
Thank you. I just wanted to pop on for a minute to kind of get you.
Thank you very much. And that kind of gives you a real world view of what's going out there in the community, even in the senior population. While most folks tend to think it's that younger generation that may be losing jobs, losing house, but it is impactful on a senior too, especially those that are on the fixed income. So they have to, just like anybody else, map things out and make sure that they're able to sustain themselves during this challenging time. Next, we want to talk about Project Listos. And we have Ms. Hilda Lisa here, who is the director of that program. We'd like for you to tell us a little bit about Project Listos, how it helps the community, how Project Listos even came to be a project under the EOB umbrella. So, Ms. Lisa, Hilda Lisa, take it away.
Hello, good afternoon. Oh, good morning yet. So, the origin of Project Listos was when we were part of Las Vegas Urban League, and we started with the program Read and Write. And we were working with the families, trying to address the different situations with education with their kids, especially families that they were coming from different cultures, from in this case, Hispanic families trying to fit in the American culture and education. So from there, we find out that the problem number one was the barrier of language and communication. So we identified that parents were having such a hard time trying to communicate with school teachers, the community in general, and they were using their little ones as translators. So in order to achieve the goals that we have in the curriculum, we have to start, with the language barrier. So that's when Project Listos came to life on place. And the program has evolved. We started with English acquisition, but then we find out another issue. And the issue was that unfortunately the parents, they didn't have the basics in their own language, meaning they didn't know how to write or read in Spanish. So the goal was very difficult or pretty much impossible to achieve, trying to teach them a second language without having mastered in their primary language, which was Spanish. So I'm gonna touch just a little bit more based on what Mr. Lawrence was describing Project Listos. Yes, Project Listos is English acquisition, but the main goal here is making sure that the parents understand their own language, which is Spanish. So the service is a bilingual program. Pretty much the students, or in this case, I refer students to our clients, but our clients are adults or parents or how do you say? The adults in the community, because we don't provide the service only to the parents in that specific school. The program is provided to the whole community. We don't ask. As long as you are older than 18 years old, you can be part of the service. So the thing is, the curriculum is available, and simultaneously the parents are learning English and Spanish. And we go from the beginning, and meaning the beginning is elementary school. So what we bring to the classroom is a mirror. Whatever the students, and the students meaning the children, they're learning at school in their classrooms, is the same thing that the parents are learning in our classrooms. So by the time that they go home, the parents, they know exactly how to help and support their children with their homework or assignments and things like that. So the parents, they don't get, what is the word that I want to use? They don't get scared about the content of homework or the curriculum at the school. So during these last 2 months, we got about 80 sets of books from Mexico, from the government, from education department in Spanish. So simultaneously, the parents are catching up with elementary school in Spanish, simultaneously with the CCSD curriculum. So the program is a bilingual education, and the parents, hopefully next year, they're going to be ready to present their first testing to accomplish elementary school in Mexico, which is from first through 6th grade. That's the equivalent from Mexico to the United States. So the parents are getting educated simultaneously, the same thing that they're learning in Spanish, they're learning in English. The English that we present is not the social English, it's academic English, which means very substantial curriculum to process. And I think this new methodology to educate is convenient in a one way, but in another hand, it's, because I don't believe that this type of education through a computer or WhatsApp is gonna have the same effect as getting together in a real classroom. But the good outcome of this is that people that is not available, to attend in the classroom and things like that, it's very easy for them. If they don't have a computer or if they don't have the computer skills, we still can get in touch with through the phone, through the WhatsApp video call, which is super easy. It's just click the button and voila, we are ready to teach and learn together and have fun. So to be honest with you, it has been very excited at different phase. We have evolved, I can say, because now we are forced, to learn technology.
Yes.
And for those parents that they never thought that they would have that need, now everybody is in the same boat using technology. So yeah, it has been a challenge at the beginning, but now as we move on, it seems that everything is getting in place. And still we are super excited to go back to schools and classrooms and have those social, relationships, because another thing of the Project Listos program, the component is getting together as a community. This program it has a great impact in social partnerships with families. We got to one school, for example, that they don't have that a community built. So as soon as we get there, through education, through other programs, we build that community in that school. We bring all the families get together in those parent centers, and we go from there, and it's amazing the outcome. Also, Project Listos not only bring the Spanish literacy and English acquisition, but also we bring other workshops, classes, trainings from other partnerships in the community that we have. So it's pretty much very well built concept of Project Listos, not only through academics, but also other workshops and services that we can provide coming to the communities instead of the clients come to the office or different places to receive the services.
And Hilda Lisa, this sounds like a great program. I do have a question in the chat for you. It says, do you teach Spanish to those who speak only English?
We haven't got yet. I haven't get there yet because I need to grow with my staff first, so I can move on to a different level. But yeah, that would be an amazing, goal to achieve.
Right. Can you explain the difference between, you mentioned that you teach academic Spanish. What is the difference between academic Spanish and just, I believe is it conversational Spanish? Is that the other side of it?
When I say academic Spanish, is that many of our clients, unfortunately, they didn't finish basic, not even second grade. So for them, it's very difficult to understand a second language when we like for example, English, academic English, it is how to structure a sentence. What is a verb? What is an adjective? What is an adverb? What is a pronoun? The different tenses, conjugations, pronouns, all those kind of things.
Very good.
For a person that they didn't finish third grade in Mexico, it's so difficult. They barely can read. So that's why when they want to start learning a second language, if they don't have, a good foundation in education in their own language, it's going to be very difficult to achieve a second language.
Right, I understand. Very good. This is a very worthwhile project that EOB has launched with Project Listos. So we'd like to thank Hilda Lisa Sampson for providing us an overview of the program. And again, if you'd like any more information on any of these programs, feel free to give us a call at 702-445-7105, or you can go to our website, www.eobcapsnv.org, for information on all of the programs that EOB has to offer to the community. We're rolling right along with our Black History program, featuring EOB and the programs and the services we provide to the community. I'm Byron Goins, the director of the Martin Luther King Jr. Senior Center, and I'm going to tell you just a little bit about the Senior Center. The center was built in 1979 on land that was provided by then Congressman Chick Heck. Chick Heck was a Republican congressman, just to be transparent about the goings on with this center. At that time, Commissioner Yvonne Atkinson Gates, our Democratic County Commissioner, was on the commission at that time and was the receiver of that land provided on the corner of Martin Luther King Boulevard and Cary Avenue in beautiful North Las Vegas. The center was designed as a beacon of hope for the community. We provide a lot of services to the community, not only the senior community, but the community as a whole. But when we talk about the seniors, we provide referral services to doctors, healthcare providers, insurance companies, you name it. We provide that service here to the seniors of Southern Nevada and in North Las Vegas. The center is known for its activities. We have a lot of things going on. Our activity director, Mr. Ramon Richardson, provides arts and crafts. We make necklaces, gourds. We do paintings. We even have about 6 sewing machines here that we can't wait to get back into action when the center comes online full time. We also partner with a lot of community agencies, one of them being the Brain Health Center, which is known as the Lou Ruvo Center for Brain Health. We have monthly information seminar sessions. One of the things that we like to focus on and like to keep seniors engaged in the center is about the health. In order for you to sustain a long and healthy life, you have to be open about your own health and just what is ailing you, as the old folks would say. Bring it to us and we'll try to refer you to those services. Yesterday, we had the Brain Health Information session talking about dementia and how to look at the early signs. And if you are diagnosed with dementia, it doesn't mean your life's going to stop. Your life's actually going to get better as long as you address it right from the beginning of a diagnosis. So we are there to help you with that. We also partner with St. Rose Dominican Hospital right here in North Las Vegas. It's actually right up the street. We do a lot of classes like how to maintain your balance, how to prevent slips and falls, how to make your menu and your diet more nutritional. So those are some of the programs and activities that we provide at the center. We also have a weekly Bible study, or we call it Humanities, where we talk about enriching the soul and the mind through studying and praying and looking at things that the Bible has to offer for you. Also, we do our monthly birthday parties once a month. We get everybody with a birthday in that month. We have a birthday party. We bring in a DJ. Our very own historical DJ, Mr. Ronnie O, comes in and spins tunes from those days gone by. But that music is music that is food for the soul. We also have bingo every Thursday, which is popular. We have about 20 of our seniors that log on, and they are playing bingo up to 10 games a Thursday. And then we have the coverall game. And we have winners. I see Miss Lillian is logged on. She's been a winner of our bingo. So we want to encourage more seniors to log on and engage, to break that social isolation and to be able to be a part of the center even though you're not here physically. Every first Friday of the month, we have our food giveaway. We partner with 3 Square Food Bank, which provides enough food for us to provide at least about 150 to 175 seniors. So they come over and they get everything from produce bags, canned goods, cereal, bread, milk, and we even have meat products like Cornish hens and hams that we put in with our food giveaways. So those happen every first Friday of the month. And the signature feature at the Martin Luther King Jr. Senior Center is our daily lunch meal that we provide to the center. Chef Archie Jett and Chef Lester Johnson prepare scratch meals from home-cooked recipes that have been handed down through the family of the chefs and also through the families at the Martin Luther King Jr. Senior Center. So if there's a senior that hasn't had that favorite meal, all they have to do is mention it to the chefs, and we will put that meal in our lunch rotation and serve it. So that's a little overview of the Martin Luther King Jr. Senior Center, where every day it's a great day at the MLK Senior Center. And please come on down. We will definitely do an all-call with our robo system when we open the center back up. So that kind of is an overview of EOB and the programs that we provide to the community. It was kind of a high-level look, but when you get down to the ground floor and the nitty-gritty of what we do, we are that organization where if you just walk into our doors or make a phone call to us, we will be able to help you with anything that you need in Southern Nevada. So without any further ado, we're going to wrap things up. If we have any questions out there, you can put it in the chat. If you are in the Zoom and showing your face in the place and you want to say something, just unmute your microphone and jump right into the question and the discussion. Do we have anybody that wants to say anything before we conclude?
Mr. Ryan, what is the age to be a member or receive a service?
At the Martin Luther King Jr. Senior Center, it is 55 and above. To come in and join, it is absolutely free. We do ask that you complete the application process, which is on the EOB website, so it makes it easy for you to become a member. Once you do that, our staff will reach out to you. Our staff consists of Ms. Karen Carter, our intake coordinator. Then we have an IT staff in our computer room, which is Mr. Brian Reese and Mr. Scott Bushman. Mr. Ramon Richardson, pardon me, is our activities coordinator. And we have Chef Archie and Chef Les are in the kitchen. And we also have a couple of case managers, Mr. Ron Harris II and also Miss Denise Finley are there to serve you. So without any further ado, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Lawrence Beasley just to give us some words to wrap us up. And that will conclude our EOB Black History Series for 2021. Mr. Beasley?
All right, thanks, Byron. Listen, I just want to thank everybody for joining in today. I hope this informational session was useful to everyone. And again, if you have any questions or need to get in contact with us, please give us a call, 702-445-7105, or you can keep up to date with what we're doing on our social media platforms. So we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter. You can reach us there or go to our website at eobcapsnv.org. And we respond to email and any inquiries you make on our website. So, thanks again, everybody.
Thank you very much, and happy Black History Month to everybody. Happy Black History Day every day of your life. On behalf of EOB, KCEP, the Martin Luther King Jr. Senior Center, where it's a great day at MLK, and Project Listos, have a great day from the EOB family. Thank you.
Nice to you guys. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Bye, Miss Lillian. See you later.
All right.
Bye, Magnolia.